So folks, today we're going to do something that I haven't got a chance to do in over a year. We are walking the bank. We're going pond hopping. Well, we're not hopping ponds, but we are going to be doing some bank fishing, and we're chasing trout today. The Winter Stocking Program is kind of gotten big in a lot of these bigger cities, and Jackson, Missouri is one of those places. We're just here at the Jackson Park. I think they stock like 2,000 pounds of trout in this 5-acre lake. Now, it's Christmas. It's actually Christmas Eve, and it is 64 degrees. It's phenomenal. So these trout have been stocked since the 1st of November. They've been in here, well, almost 2 months. It's catch and release up until February 1st. You can start keeping them. So they've been caught a few times. I mean, there's a lot of people that fish minnows and power bait and, you know, worms, whatever. They bait fish for them. They just catch them and turn them loose. So they're definitely educated this time. But we've got about an hour or so. I snuck out of the house. I've been wrapping presents. I've been sweeping, vacuuming, doing all the things because we got folks coming over tonight, and I had to get out of the house for about an hour. So we're gonna break out the fly rod, try to catch a few fish. Anybody out there that's wanting to get into fly fishing, it takes a little bit of practice, but it's a lot of fun. And I would recommend an 8'6" to a 9' 5" fly rod, floating line, and just a decent reel. You know, you can buy a setup for like 150 bucks. That'll work fine. Maybe even 100 bucks, especially if you're just getting into it and you're not too terribly worried about all the little technical stuff, you know. So I mean, 150 will get you a comfortable rod. Something we're gonna throw today, since we don't have much time, we're just gonna throw a little woolly booger. Just gonna start out with this olive and maybe a black. So either one of these has caught me fish in the past. If that doesn't work and we still have time, we're gonna float a jig because there's a lot of wind. Should probably start out with floating a jig first, but we're gonna try out with start with a woolly booger. Just cover a little bit of water, and hopefully we snag a couple. The whole thing is trying to figure out what kind of cadence they want, just like jerkbait fishing. You know, I typically just strip once, and just count to like 3 or 4 and strip again. Towards dark, they come up higher in the water column and strip a little faster. You're just trying to figure out how fast they want that bait moving. Oh, missed him. There you go, fish on. Fish on, so I found the color right off the bat. Decent fish too. First cast, I don't know if it's bad luck or not. We got one. Just throwing a little olive. It's actually a leech. I decided to go against that beadhead. And the only tricky part about this place is getting these fish. Yeah, we got off. There it goes. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Got 3 bites on some olive. Olive, yeah. Just a little olive leech is what I'm throwing. I would say it's probably 12. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I was debating olive or black, and I just tied on the olive first, and seems to be working. Looks like I spoke too soon on the color.
What's that?
I said, looks like I spoke too soon on the color. Yeah, I mean, overcast and the water's got some stain to it. Come on, fish. And one more bite. Dang it, that was a bite. Missed me. There he is. think that fish was on there for a little bit actually. Maybe he is. I think that fish was on there for a little bit. Let's see if I can get him in. That's a male. That jaw. See there? See how that hook jaw? It's a male. Little guy, but still fun. It's on that little olive leech. Alright, we're about out of time, so I'm gonna go back over here where I caught those other fish. And make a few casts before we call it. Got family coming over in a little bit. Just been fortunate enough to get out of the house for an hour. Let's go back over here. Boy, it looked like a bite right off the bat. It is a bite. He's on there the whole time. I mean, as soon as that thing hit the water. So they're sitting kind of up in the water column. I'd say they're down about 3 feet, just based off these last bites. There we go. That's a good fish. Good fish. And another thing is figuring out how far off the bank they are. And these fish have been like 10 feet off the bank. Sometimes they're way out there. This water's got pretty good stain to it. Let's see if I can get this guy in. That's a good fish. Really good fish. This is about 18 inches long. It'll probably come off, but that's okay. I had him. They do have teeth. There we go. Good fish. Not 18 inches long, more like 16. They're skinny. It's fun though. There he is. Oh, God, I missed him. Man, I've had 3 bites, guys. I mean, I've caught the 3 fish, but I've had 3 bites that I've missed. That was another one. My line started moving off. I don't know exactly why I missed that fish, but that's a good sign. I'm seeing some surface activity. Don't have much time left, but it seems like they are starting to get a little more active. This is fun. You know, I started trout fishing when I was real young. My mom used to take us to Montauk State Park, and we'd camp out. It was kind of our annual fishing trip, and it started out with just a push button Zebco, and then throwing power bait and things like that, and moved up to a spinning rod, still throwing power bait, and then I met a guy. I was watching people fishing with jigs, little marabou jigs. That's another thing that catches a lot of trout. It's a little marabou jig, like a 64th ounce. But there's a guy gave me some jigs one time, and started learning how to catch fish on jigs, and then eventually got into fly rods. And now I typically just, when I go trout fishing, I'm just a fly rod guy. Spinning rod is fun too, but I just kind of, when I'm trout fishing, it's gonna be with the fly rod. There he is. God, I know that was a bite. I know that was a bite. They've been caught, they've been pressured. Like, I'm watching my line. My line's got some little kinks in it, and I just watch those little kinks, and you wait for them to straighten up. And that's the only bite you're getting. You're just watching those coils in your line. And you see them just kind of tighten up slightly. You know that something's got it. But I've had that happen a couple times, and then they just spit it really quick. This is what I was catching them on. It's a little leech, basically. I mean, it's just like a little woolly burger with no bead. It's got that kind of some of that mohair on it. I mean, really super small profile, like size 12. I'm throwing it on 5X. So like 4.7 pound fluorocarbon. We're gonna find black. I'm just gonna find a little black woolly booger right there. That's what we're going with. No weight. It's gonna drift slowly. I'll tie it on. And we literally only have time to make probably 5 casts, and I gotta get back to the house. We got family coming over, and don't want to be late. Do not want to get in trouble. Let's hope I don't hook into like a giant striper or something. All right, that's a wrap, folks. Man, we had fun. You know, had an hour to fish, caught 3 fish, and I had like 4 or 5 other bites. Several of them, they smacked at my line, jumped. There was nothing there, so they're being a little bit tricky. Anytime it's 64 on Christmas Eve, you got to go fishing for a little while. So give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content, and a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. If you have this opportunity in your area, go take advantage of it. It is fun, and it gets better as it gets colder. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me and get you started with some bait suggestions. And I may do one with a spinning rod. You know, I may come back out here in a couple days and leave the fly rod at the house, grab the spinning rod, and show you how I tackle them on the spinner rod. Merry Christmas. Until next time.